Ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm going to tell you how I was able to quit drinking alcohol and doing drugs, hard drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put it at this. Look, it all comes down to having mental fortitude. Alright, you gotta be mentally strong to be able to pull this off. Alright, so that's one thing I'm gonna say. It depends on your circumstance, but if it is that you need a substance abuse counselor to guide you through this, then I think you should do that. That's just another thing that I can say. Luckily, I was one of the ones that didn't really need a substance abuse counselor to guide me through this. I was able to do it in parts, right? Step by step. How was I able to do this? I was able to do this by distracting myself from anything that had to do with alcohol or hard drugs. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever I got an urge, I would distract myself. Whenever I got somebody telling me, you want this, you want that, I would say no. You also gotta have the ability to say no. Just say no. That's kind of cliche, right? That's kind of like, what? There? Anyways, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta say no. You have to say no. If you don't have the strength to say no, then most likely you're gonna have to go to like a rehab type of thing. I didn't need that. How was I able to curve this? I'll tell you. The way I was able to curve this off was by taking something called ashwagandha. If you guys haven't heard of it, go ahead and Google it and I'll help you out. Alright? I'm not saying that, I wanted you to take that. I'm just saying this is from my point of view of what I did to be able to curb this addiction or addictions. Ladies and gentlemen, ashwagandha played a big part into this. Another thing that played a big part, which I'm going to put it at the top spot, is cannabis. Cannabis was able to wing me off of the hard drugs and the drinking. How is this? Every time I got an urge, I decided to just smoke. I would smoke a bowl. I had stopped smoking, right? I had stopped smoking, and once I got back into it, it was such a relief to be able to smoke a bowl, and that would just make me forget, make me want to drink, or make me want to do hard drugs, ladies and gentlemen. So if anything, if you're in a legal state, I would say that's one of your options. If you're not in a legal state, then there's other things you can try, like CBD, CBD products and stuff like that. So ashwagandha, cannabis, and YouTube, distracting myself, distractions in a positive way. So anytime I got an urge, I would just tell myself, smoke yourself a little bowl, focus on making a video or a short, and you'll be able to curb that urge. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you might not be a content creator as myself. So what I could say is, if you are working, distract yourself with that if possible. If not, find a hobby. That's one of the big points as well that you need to do to be able to curve off of whatever it is you're trying to curve off from. Ladies and gentlemen, a hobby. I picked up a lot of hobbies from the time that I decided to quit my alcohol and substance abuse. I picked up my 3D printing again. I picked up Pokemon card collecting. I picked up, what else did I pick up? Well, regardless of that, find yourself a hobby, alright? Find yourself a hobby. A hobby is going to distract you very, very good. Your time will fly by as well if you find a hobby that you enjoy and you are willing to put your time into it. Your time will fly by so quick. There will be no need to be doing the drugs, the hard drugs, or the alcohol, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so ashwagandha, cannabis, hobbies, just saying no, and I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, sleep. Get yourself some sleep. Try to push for the 8 hours. If you can't push for the 8 hours, get at least something close to that. Something close to that will help you. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing that helped me out a lot to include with the productivity and to distract myself was caffeine. I picked up caffeine pills, 200 milligrams from Walmart. You get you a little bottle for like $5-6, something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that will make you more productive. I also got something else, which was ashwagandha mixed with L-theanine, and that helps you focus. So if you take all of these things in conjunction in moderated doses, you will be able to kick anything and everything that you want to kick. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, it's not that hard. It is not that hard. It takes willingness, a willpower within you. It takes a hobby. It takes some things like ashwagandha, cannabis, or distractions, as I said, hobbies and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, you will be able to kick it if you really want to. If you really want to, you will. You can succeed. You could succeed. There is just no way that you could not. If you are trying to quit, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know how long you've been sober already, how many days. Right now, as of right now, today is day 80 for your boy. Day 80 of no alcohol or no hard drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel great about that. I have been outstandingly, productive. Very productive. 1, with YouTube. 2, around my house. Do things around your house, whatever you do. If you gotta clean, get into details with it, mess around with your pets. If you have cats, go, distract yourself with your cats or your pets, whatever it is that you have. Distractions, man, ladies and gentlemen, distractions and hobbies. So this is what I'm gonna leave it at. I would like to know if it is that you're trying to quit, and if you are, please get down in the comments and let me know what's up. Alright, I appreciate y'all. You can do this. Don't give up. Takes a lot of might take a lot of time, but you can do it. Alright, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, check out my other content, shorts, long format, all of that. We got memberships too. Alright, catch y'all later. Peace.